grind. I want to vibe. It's tough doing like a game for like an hour and change. Oh, based. Whole food sushi often a little pricey, but I haven't had a while. I should try it again. It was like a buy one get one day of the week, right? Just try that out. So it is what it is. I want to catch up on this stuff. The good news is, like I said before, as soon as I actually like catch up on this stuff, yo, Serotonin, welcome back. Great to see you. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Enjoy your time in the diner and your complimentary golden banana. Welcome in. Yeah, no, that's damn true. That's damn true. So yeah, like I said, sorry guys, if you want to see like a quote unquote real game, hopefully you enjoy yapping instead, because I'm gonna do a little bit of this. We can chat about whatever though while I'm doing this. But yeah, here's the deal. I have to make some decisions about my life because I have my new commute. It's not that bad, but if I'm losing an hour and a half of my day. I'm gaining an hour and a half of podcast and music time, which is based. But as far as my silly little live service games, I got to figure out what to do. The first thing about them is if I like portion them out a little better and not do what I like. My normal habit is this, where I hold up on them for 3,000 years and then play all of the content at the end of a patch cycle at the same time. That's no longer viable for me. I mean, it's viable, but it's annoying. It makes my life harder. So if I do these things in a less procrastinating, I don't know why I'm procrastinating. I like this game. I like playing it. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's enough yapping for tonight. How was y'all's weekends? How was the beach? White one. I need to play Black and White. I played a little bit of it when they came out, and then I don't know if I finished. It was in a period where I wasn't like finishing games a lot. Does that change? IDK man, good to see you back. Welcome back in. Yo, speaking of you, IDK man, A, did you see the fraud screenshot? B, I do want to play more Ultra Kill soon. I've been listening. The Ultra Kill soundtracks have been my work soundtrack all week. Well, not all week, but for portions of the week. See, you can tell I'm cooked because that timer was to pour my tea and I opened the microwave, which my tea was not inside. Oh, friends streaming Platinum underwater was that's insane. Like with like waterproof headphones or what? I have not finished Freerun yet. I do need to do it. I was watching with a friend and we kind of fell off. My friend was having, I think, some very reasonable qualms, so we kind of lost motivation a little bit. It's extreme, it's very frustrating. I think that the first volume of Freerun is some of the best manga I've read emotionally. And I wish it had stayed a Iyashike travelogue series. Is the TLDR. I do want to engage with it more though, in case it comes around more. I didn't dislike any part of it that I watched, but I lost interest more the more actiony it got. Crippling Balatro addiction. Hey, I've been watching a lot of Balatro actually. It's good. It's good background. No, I definitely think that's the vibe though, right? Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am skipping the event dialogue for the most part because I don't care. Oh, speaking of, let's chat about the. We have a lot of anime watchers right now. It sounds like. Yeah, I do need to get into that. What are y'all watching next season? Yeah, and so I do want to watch more. I like Freerun a lot. It was the first big versus the demons arc, and I was like, well, hold on, it's still way better than most of the slot fantasy out there, but it became much more of a regular show for a bit, and I was like, it's good, it's very pretty, obviously, it's gorgeously animated, but the writing dipped down, and I was like, I don't know about all that. In particular, the world building thing with the demons, I wasn't totally sold on. I think there's like a Tolkienian thing they're doing as regards like there just exists evil, period. And it's like, okay, I could get behind this very primordial fantasy setting, but like I'm back and forth. So, very cool though. Yeah, I do want. I know people love the next batch of characters, so I do want to watch more, or at least read more at some point. Time's obviously hard for me right now, but you know. So yeah, anybody have any plans for next season yet of Amine? Next season's a really big sequel season. As far as big names go, here I can just put up on the screen actually. Mosaic movie, hell yeah. It's really funny. They just kind of they're just putting it all on the. No, you know what? You don't have to get spoiled. That's the thing. Like people like it's a spoiler. It's not necessarily a spoiler. If you have the critical information, it is. But if not, then well, just don't tell anybody. Where is my screen capture? I do still have designs on like doing more like anime content. Shield Zero, interesting. I for better or for worse, I've been fully writing it off for a very long time. I did not vibe with the beginning of it, but so it goes. So those are what we got for next season. I mean, this is of course peak. Yo, how's it going, Eddie? No, not strange at all. Jojo, that's a very smart move. Okay. Peak, obviously. Look, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to be happy about it, though. Does anybody watch Us, Darling? Look, I know it has the ecchi tag. I know it's well regarded as well, though. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard it's a very, very strong romance series, though. Kaiju 6 of 10 season 2. I'm probably gonna watch it, just because I don't know. Maybe they'll fix it. I don't know. Comedy drama. Cloverworks. Hold on. Yeah, I do. I never finished season 2. I'm like, I don't know why. Because I love Zombieland Saga. I think life happened to me and I just forgot at some point that I didn't finish it. What is this? Sure, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. People love the manga for this, right? Gacha Akuta? Hop on Peak if you haven't yet. This is... Call of the Night is so good. It's so good. Very, very well animated. Incredible sense of setting and vibes and ennui. It's really good. It's a little... It's like a little horny, but it's not horrifically so. And I think it's in a more it's in like a holistic way, like the show's about it. Like it's not just like, oh, and now the camera's being weird. Is it? I thought there was a movie that was like a side story, because I believe this is just the next arc. People love Summer Hikaru died, right? Chihiro. I don't know anything about the series at this point. This is still weird to me. I never actually watched the original Penny Stocking series, but like it's of course legendary. And it's insane that it's actually happening. Yeah, the movies thing, I don't know how I feel about. Dude. So here's the deal. I love Takopi. I don't love Takopi. How do I put this? I think Takopi is good despite itself. It's a very strong first work from Taizan. I think he's cooking. His second thing was a mess, but in an interesting way, I think, at least. This is fucked. It's very dark. Be so advised. I think it leverages its edginess in good ways for the most part, but just be so advised. From what I've heard though, they're doing this in a pretty short format. The series is only 2 volumes, I think. Is it only 2 volumes? Yeah, 2 volumes. It's a very short series, so this is not going to be full-length episodes. The animation is unreal from what I've seen so far. So, if you like psychological drama, a little bit of horror, a little bit of, man, that's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Definitely recommends, the anime should be very strong, but again, like I said, quite dark. I think it does manage to make it feel worthwhile. Like, it's easy to be sort of like, It's easy to see something like, oh, it's so dark, it's so like heavy, and like it's like whatever, man. Nobody really cares, but I do think this earns it by the end. Oh yeah, City. I've never read City, but people love City. So anyway, Taco P. I'll throw some. I'll co-sign Taco P. Random rom-com series, which people kind of like or don't like. I don't know. Maybe I think people like that. I've never seen it. I know, of course, it's like one of the memed ones. Yes, dude, this is cinema. I see you tomorrow at the food court. I think there's gonna be shorts. This is a fantastic web manga. Very, very cute. Very funny. Just like it's just a very like I'm a sucker for this type of like slice of life stuff. Like the I guess the one with behind the supermarket's also very like it's more of a rom-com, but it's great vibes. Bullet. This looks like it's fire. Hold. It's original? Oh, it's the Ninja Combo Studio. Oh. If they make more than one episode this time, perhaps. We'll see. The rest of this, we'll see. We'll see. So there was a bowling show? That could be kind of based. Yeah, we got it's a pretty top-heavy season, it looks like. A lot of the stuff that isn't, like, super big name seems, like, insane to me, but stuff always hits halfway through. People are like, oh shit, this is actually very good. Oh, hey, Turkey Time to Strike. There it is. Right, I remember this. I remember the teaser for this. That's so funny. Is it going to be all 3D bowling? That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say no. Yeah, it is tough. That is tough. Side Games is making this? Yeah, people love this. I hope they get budgeted for Sakamoto Days this time. I didn't watch the first season because people were just so cold on it. Love the manga, though. Fantastic manga. Sakamoto Days is my favorite. I'll stop yapping in a second. Is my favorite example of a manga series from Jump that's like so many Jump series have to transition or try to transition into being just like shonen battle manga for the sake of like building up their ratings, and it always fails because their heart's never in it. This is one of the only series I've seen that not only succeeded in the transition, but is way better after the transition. Sakamoto is becoming like an unironic like battle manga was the best thing for it, I think. Like it was fine in its early, like the early portion of it's fairly like we have Spy Family at home, and it's not a bad thing to be. It's cute, but it's not like amazing. It gets really good as an action manga though, so I do hope that the budget picks up. They really, from what I understand, did the first season pretty dirty, so we'll see. Yeah, Gacha is getting a lot of hype. They're doing Bones. Bones is on this. Okay. Well, I'll give it a. I'll probably watch an episode or two then. Bones hasn't like thrown to the towel yet. Dude, I hate these. What is this? I can take a tattoo. Come on, man. That can't be real. A cradle, you said, right? There is some isekai slop I do love. Dominant opening is very good. Oh, it's not on Valiant? Okay. Interesting. Looking forward to it. Whatever it is. Should be cool. Anyway, Apothecary Dive is great. Final, near the finale. Yeah, there's certain isekai that I don't think it's like a dead genre. It's just mostly dead. Okay, what are we doing? Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. Okay. What the fuck are you talking about? What? What? Is it slot cars? What the fuck is this? Okay. Please don't offend the advertisers. Sure, dude. No problem. I have to do this? Bro, what? This is not the game. This is an event. Okay? Don't run into this. This is a... So, the thing about MiHoYo that I think is endearing, despite how large they are at this point, is they are fucking obsessed with minigames to this day. And a large number of the events in their games are just completely unrelated to the main game itself. This has absolutely nothing to do with Star Rail, except, you know, the themes and the setting. The themes meaning, you know, like the visual and musical themes. And, like, this has nothing to do with anything, though. The doll is a Star Rail character, but like I do think that you know, if there's one thing you can definitively say about, you know, like the evolution of MiHoYo's style in the last few years, and whether, you know, you play these games or not, they're insanely influential, right? So I think it's worth talking about. Well, this is a weird amount of effort for like a random thing. Okay, yep, okay. All right, so please take a break. Whatever. Again, I know we don't have time for this tonight. Well, I'll play the funny racing game, though. Sure. What the fuck is... This is so high effort. Dude. This is very high effort. I'm very surprised. Okay, whatever. Anyway. Star Rail and Genshin share a lot of design similarities. Oh, this is much more chaotic than I was expecting. Holy shit. Okay. I would say so. I think, you know, among the genre, I think Star Rail has some of the highest consistency in the main story. Like, there's really only one period of the main story that I think is not so great. The rest of it is pretty straightforwardly, I think, quite solid. It's really good at doing set pieces. There's a lot of just fantastic, you know, just sort of soaring orchestra, big vocal hit on a crazy scale boss fight type stuff. That they love doing that. They're really good at doing big RPG bosses. This is just, you know, we're doing our chores to get some rolling currency, basically. It does a little bit. Now the answer to that question I have, though, will be based on whether or not you're familiar with Honkai Impact 3rd. Because if you are, the answer I will give is very different, basically, than just, yeah, they're kind of connected a little bit. If you're not, then suffice to say they're connected a little bit, but not directly. Okay. Long story short, if you're familiar with it at all, the long story short is, it's something to do with the damn bubble universes, I believe, is how this goes. There was like a manga about Welt and Void Archives that explained how the hell this all connects. But none of the characters in Star Rail are the same people from Honkai Impact 3rd, except for Welt. And I think Void Archives. We haven't seen him yet, though. Welt specifically is exactly the same guy from Honkai Impact 3rd. He did, like, move over from the universe to the Star Rail universe. Everybody else just is a alternate universe take on the people. I don't think so. I don't know if we know how that works yet. I know I don't know. I'm not familiar with like the Genshin deep lore, but it's a little dense as far as I can tell. I don't think there's been a direct Genshin XP yet, but we've had a good chunk of the, not a good chunk, we've had a fair few of the Honkai Impact characters now as XPs in Star Rail. We're missing, you know, a fair few still, most notably Kiana herself has not shown up yet. I think they're saving her for a rainy day, monetary-wise. We've had May, we've had several Bronias. We've had Sele, Asterisk. No, not Asterisk. We've had Sele. The game feel of this isn't ideal, but like it's a pretty fine kart racer. Like it's not bad. I don't have a Switch 2 yet. This'll do. Yeah, it's pretty clunky. I think, you know, like the fact that they have to build this for mobile controls is, I think, legit, but yeah. I'm curious if like we're gonna get stronger vehicles later or whatever, but I want some F-Zero speed on this MF. Okay, anyway, I know. Thank you. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. I don't care. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, that's like a fair bit. Okay, yeah, we'll crank these out real quick. Okay, can we choose our thing now? Okay. Nitrogen burst. Aha! Now we have 2 speed boosts. We love to see that. Yes, it is. That's so true. Hey, it's Herta. I think. Damn, that seems very strong. Well, we have no missiles now, though, so that's interesting. Alright, we do want more skill boosts now because we'll have... Damn, the high speed on this is crazy. This feels very strong. It strikes me as being a very powerful vehicle. The game feel problem's easier now. We got the acceleration we're looking for. Oh shit, that's my bad. Yeah, and so I believe ZZZ in particular has been said to just fully not overlap with the, you know, Star Rail and Genshin stuff. But like Genshin has a non-zero amount of overlap, of course. Like there's Honkai XPs. Yes, it is. There's Honkai XPs in Genshin. It's not the same universe the way that it is Star Rail is though, but something is happening there. But like just for context, let's see, who do we have? This is Nuwa, I think. If you ever met Nuwa on Honkai Impact, it's kind of a random pick, but I think that's Nuwa. Here's of course our first May. Who else? Hey, look, it's Himeko. She's not dead. That was like 6 years ago. It is what it is. There's Bronya. Here's also Bronya. There's not Void Archives. I think this is just an auto XP, but he doesn't like know anything about anything. There's actual Welt from Honkai Impact. What else we got? Shushano. He's here. No Hua yet, though. Word on the street is hopefully soon, but you don't know when. I don't think anybody else. Oh, yeah, Tasha. Weird pick, but yeah. Yeah, I played Genshin for like a month maybe. And that was about it. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's a game I think that was very frustrating because even like I don't, you know, I do think most live services like this live or die on like sort of your general play patterns. And Genshin's for me were really frustrating because you had to do like a lot of work to do like your dailies. That was my main problem with it. It takes a damn long time just to like walk, or at least back in the day it did. You don't like walk somewhere to do your dailies. And like I don't want to walk somewhere to do my dailies. This is a game I can play on my phone. Like it should be very straightforward. I don't have to like walk to a counter to do it. So that was my main problem, but yeah, I have found myself falling into the genre a lot, even though I do genuinely hate the gambling portions. Like I'm not saying that's like a bit, like I don't like the gambling portion. I do like the roster collection and roster management portion though. That I like a lot. And I also just like the fact that these play and discuss like mini MMOs without having me needing to play an actual MMO. But there's ups and downs too. Like, you know, much like MMOs, we have a situation where I don't like want to do my damn dailies sometimes, and if you don't, then you lose out. It's like the efficiency in keeping up with a game like this is what saves you from the gambling. Hello, Peppy. Okay, yep. Was that Peppy driving? Holy shit. Thank you, Peppy. Yeah, it is, I think, the thing that, you know, especially like I was saying right now, like where, you know, I've got to work on my schedule. Okay. That's fascinating. I don't love it. And for me, it's like always a question of like, what's up, Trinot? Welcome in. How are you today? Gotcha fun, so true. Gain speed. Colliding is good. Hello, Stola, welcome in. I know, I'm sorry that it's not like a normal game, but I'm behind, and my life has been very chaotic recently. So, yeah, like the thing for me, so we do want to, okay, so we do want to bounce into, oh, okay, so this is now a Mario Kart rules, or Mario Kart, you know. Oh, this is very strong, what the hell? Hey, we love to see that. Yeah, I feel you, Trinon. I don't spend, the thing is, like, and this is where the trade-off comes in, right? I was just mentioning this from what Zero Tonin was saying. The problem that the sort of conundrum is, like, there are two ways to pay for things in a gacha game, right? And it's with time or money. Or maybe sanity and money. If we just package sanity into time. This is pretty fun. And the issue is, like I said, like I'm not here for the gambling portions of the adventure. So I need to decide whether I'm going to pay with time or money to sort of get through the roster collection stuff. So hold on, my brain, hold on, let me back up a second. The things I like the roster collection. I like the live service type stuff in terms of getting, you know, constant events and community input and stuff like that. That stuff's great. And the fact that it's small scale. Like, you know, Trinaw mentioned PoE. I love PoE. PoE is not an MMO, but it's a, you know, MMO adjacent game, certainly. It would be exhausting if PoE dropped content every 4 to 6 weeks. That would be crazy. PoE, I think, does the sort of live service thing best because I, as somebody who's played over 1,000 hours of PoE, don't feel any obligation to play at any given point, which I think is the way it should be. Like this I'm playing, I don't like, you know. Yeah, so Yeah, that's the thing that I think that I really like is, and I was sort of alluding to earlier, is that if you get your schedule together, it's really easy to keep up with the more recent Hoyo games. It's like very easy to keep up with them. They have a very rigid 6-week update cycle, and there is always going to be new content every 6 weeks, and usually also in the 3-week intervals in between those 6-week periods. And so as long as you're not like horrifically behind at any point, it's very easy to do, you know, the content in 6-week periods. I like that a lot because there's not like that much stuff to do. People complain all the time about there not being enough stuff to do, which is good, I think. That means you have 6 weeks to do shit in. It can definitely be tough to get started for sure. Which like I said, I don't know if I would never like actively recommend any flavor, whether it has gacha or not, any type of, you know, MMO slash mobile game slash whatever you want to talk, you know, anything, any such flavor, unless like somebody is like super into the thing. Like if somebody's like a big tower defense head, like Arcanite slaps very hard. I just didn't like keeping up with it. Yeah, no, I totally see you. And that's where I'm like right now. I'm like, dude, do I feel like keeping up with this? There's part of me is like, maybe not. Like, there's just not that much per 6 weeks. Like, you know, I'm very used to other games where you have events that last 1 or 2 weeks. Some of it is. So, like, this event ends tonight. And the content is not especially compelling. Like, you get a couple little bits of dialogue with some characters, which I'm going to ignore because we have no time. It's cute. It's whatever. Oh, yeah, IDK? At the end of the day, we're getting like an amount of currencies from beating the card game. So I don't think this is peak, obviously. Here's the thing. I want this stuff to get characters with so I don't spend a bunch of money. Because I don't do that. And so if I'm saying I'm not going to spend a bunch of money, I spend a little bit of money on very controlled substances, basically. In the MiHoYo games, the way to play is you, like an MMO, treat it like a subscription. IMO. You do, but you don't have to. $5, you get 20 pulls over the course of the month. It's like such a no-brainer. The pricing for the other stuff is not even close. It's not even like close at all. It's like twice as good. Exactly. So that is the trick. So like, you know, I, as a very long time gacha enjoyer at this point, really do want to caution anybody against engaging with any of this nonsense unless you know what you're getting into. Like I said, there's a lot that I like about these games structurally. So fundamentally, right, to get back around to finishing up Sean's question before I launch another soapbox, we're not missing out on much. If we don't do this event by the end of the night, not that much happens. I lose out on like, I don't even know, probably like 10 rolls worth of currency. I could just skip this. I want the currency though. The way that the Hoyo games, the more recent ones, work is they're built heavily on hard pity in the gacha, which means you're not actually that likely to get lucky and get characters before you're expected to get them. So what that means is like every little bit of currency you get is going towards hard guarantees of getting characters. And so if I'm just, you know, mentally I'm going like, I need 200 rolls to guaranteed get a character. That's just how my math's going. So, you know, as I'm like mentally working out like my rolling plans, which is part of the fun for me, in kind of like in that roster management sense, I'm just trying to manage, you know, how much do I want to spend now versus later. Because like the value prop money wise, I don't, like, you know, if I'm going to play this game like every day, I don't mind spending a bit of money on it, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. I don't want to be sitting there, you know, doing a bunch of gambling. I did not read how this thing works at all. Oh, it's Mario Kart now. I see. Okay. Oh, I forgot we're not playing the Hurdle deal. So all this to say, like, I don't think... What the fuck is this? What? That was weird. Okay, did we whiff? We must have whiffed, I guess. So, I don't think this is a good model. I would prefer that the games didn't work like this. But they're also free. And that goes for... That says something. So the models give you your, like, skill pickups. They're like question mark blocks in Mario Kart. So the FOMO is there, but this I think it's not extreme, basically. It's pretty rare. Like, the majority of, like, the important content in the game you might actually care about doing, you can get... Oh, sorry, yes. The bottles are... this is part of a corporate endeavor from the, like, major... It's like a soda company that also... It's a long story, but... Yes, the soda company is like a big major corporate player in this planet's lore. And the soda company's putting on the event, it seems. So like the FOMO of it all is not extreme here, right? Like I said, we lose like a little bit of currency if we don't do this. It's not a lot. I don't have to do this. These are good, but I have 72 of them. They only come out of events. I don't need more. We're not going to miss much. So that's why I do like the pacing of this game. Exactly. Like, as far as the stuff that actually... Like, people right now are kind of harping on Starcraft for not having enough stuff to do. I don't care. The main thing that comes out each patch is a big chunk of story content, and that's always permanent and never, like, you know, there's never any FOMO basis on that. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's what I don't like, obviously. Which is why a lot of me does like this harsher numbers game on the MiHoYo games, in that if you can just focus on not trying to get lucky, and just play the guarantees, which are sort of, again, like actual, real, factual guarantees. There is a fallback safety net. Then the game feels different, at least to me. Oh, this is like Baby Park. Very cute. Oh, this is fun. But yeah, no, I definitely agree that, like, the omnipresence of gambling in the modern gaming landscape is, you know, sad. Like, I'm not here to, like, judge anybody, obviously. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So, like, obviously, if you want to gamble, like, and you're, you know, doing so from a position that, like, is fine to you, like, by all means, do your thing. Enjoy it. I got nothing to say about that, you know, much as, you know, anybody knows that things are, you know, are healthy or unhealthy. Thing that's unfortunate, though, is that, you know, a lot of people are, you know, through nature or nurture predisposed to gambling addictions, and there's not a lot of good fallbacks for them, and it's especially for online stuff, it's really tough to, like, you know, have these things exist like this. So that's why I say, you know, just know what you're getting into, please. But, like, I think I would hazard a guess that I could describe precisely the amount of money I've spent on Star Rail. I'm not going to, because it's probably more money than I feel like saying right now. But I have never bought currency explicitly for rolling for a particular purpose, if that makes sense. There's a yearly sort of double bonus. There's a yearly more efficient purchase in the store, and I've bought those. I've bought the monthly pass, and that's it though. My biggest rule that I found for myself was the best sanity inducing sanity preserving tactic that I found in engaging with this type of game is just not ever doing recurring purchases, basically. Exactly, yeah. So like for me, like I don't want to be in a position where I'm buying something that I will then buy multiple times, over and over again. But I think that's where, you know, I would think I would get into the most trouble personally. So you know, like for me, you know, I buy from this game, for example, like basically the value packs once or twice a year, and that's it. And then the monthly stuff. It's like fine. Like I'm fine with that. I'm spending that kind of money in a game I'm playing this regularly. And that's fine for me. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Like again, like if you know, if you know what you're getting into and you're being responsible, like so it goes, right? Exactly, yeah. So like that I don't mind. So that's where I'm like in a weird spot where I'm like I really genuinely don't like the gambling part. It stresses me out a lot. Like winning's fun, obviously, but it stresses me out. Like I don't want to sit here and just gamble all, you know, all the damn time. So that's my frustration with this, is that like I do wish there was a game where there literally wasn't a way to put money into it, right? Also, yeah, wait, which Konami games are you thinking of, Serotonin? Because like I remember back in the day, at least in like the early 2010s. Dude, just give me this one. This shit is nuts. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. For me, this is why I'm so scrupulous and why I also enjoy the planning portion of things. Is that I hate losing at the gacha. Oh, Master Duel, sure. I played Duel Links was actually my like gacha gateway drug, and Duel Links I would not say is hyper friendly. Yeah, that's super frustrating, IDK man. Like this is also true of like other just like consumer goods. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Like I don't have to like put in 3 calendar reminders to remember to cancel my subscription to this thing that I only wanted for a month. Like it just stop. Yeah, I've heard that out of Master Duel though, which is very cool. And like, you know, this thing that's so frustrating. Like it's part of the business model, like the breakage, that's what it's called, I think. Like it's just, the people are just gonna forget. Like I get it, but like, damn. Let's go. So anyway, so my like strategy in these games is built around basically never losing. So I hoard a lot. Like right now, I have enough currency to guarantee like I think like 2 or 3 characters in a row. Maybe a little more than that actually. Even if I have the worst possible luck. And so that's what I think. So like I'm never in a position in this game unless I, you know, like I make the active decision to do so. I never am in a position where I'm gonna not get a character, and that's all I really care about. Like if there's a character I decide I want to not have there be a chance where I don't get them, and that's why I play. So for me, like there really isn't a much gambling to be had in a game like this. God, that's so frustrating. Discord, I'm worried about Discord. So I'm not saying this to be like I figured out the solution, because like this is not a strategy that works for everybody. Like when I do this, I have to like skip a lot of characters. A lot of people just like rolling all the time, and if you like that, then great, like enjoy it. For me though, so this is where you'll get the thing that I find, you know, some of the most interesting about Star Rail is I think Star Rail is a really fun RPG as far as the combat systems go. The story, like I said, the story I think is in general pretty consistent. It's not always consistently amazing. Like I think it has its highs, but I think, you know, I have played other you know, gacha games that are tapping in harder sort of like peak VN stuff. Obviously, Fate Grand Order has the VN pedigree to back itself up. So something to be said about that. But so behind a particular character, no. But there has been a significant amount of discourse regarding Star Rail's perceived power creep. This is something I have very mixed feelings on, because I'm not convinced yet we have hard proof that the game is like definitively power creeped to hell. Power crept to hell. We're going to sooner or later, Oh, Serotonin, you have such great taste. Yeah, it was so good. I stopped playing Rhythm Gacha because my hands hurt. And the only reason I don't play more rhythm games on my PC is that like the motivation isn't there. I'm like, yeah, I could play it like, you know, DJ Max Respect or whatever the hell it's called. But like, okay, I can do that whenever. So I never had like the like moment to be like, I have to do this right now. Silver Wolves here. So the power creep, I think my argument is that we don't have proof yet. That said, the game has gotten harder with every consecutive patch, which is just normal in these games. The hard part is like trying to figure out how these things work. And I think that, you know, there are also games that don't really have difficulty in them at all, and you're never really encouraged to roll for new characters. I think that's also a fine way to do things. The one that I also find a little bit less compelling sometimes. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, the hard part is people are like, oh my god, it's power creep. I think there is to an extent. I think the biggest thing that happened, and this is true, and this is why part of the reason why I love following games like this, even if I don't play them, is I love the development of a meta. This is why I like card games too. I love a good like developing meta, and why I in theory like fighting games, but in practice I need to like learn more things. So after like at about the 1 year mark in Star Rail, there was a pretty clear change in direction. So I'm not saying there hasn't been a change in balance over the game's history. I think there has been. There was a very big change in how the game was designed. If you're familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh, the game basically adopted an archetype model of design, where, you know, all of a sudden we went from just like, hey, this character's pretty good, to this character has a bunch of like combat-related tags which other characters care about. So, for example, the break effect team, you know, basically capitalizes on breaking enemy stamina bars and cares specifically about break damage. This is not like a problem in and of itself, but because you now have, instead of a team that just sort of works generically, to a team that has 4 characters who all center around the same mechanic, the power of those teams kind of exploded. So the archetype teams really took off in a big way. Okay. Hello, Silverwolf. Thank you. Okay, what's up? So this happens. People start freaking out about power creep because the 1.0 characters are much harder to keep up with the harder and harder endgame content. Not the story content. The story content's always pretty straightforward. Like, this is the thing that's also the hard part about this discussion, is that people talk about power creep and Star Rail, they're talking about the endgame, you know, bi-weekly dungeon modes, which you do every 2 weeks. Bi-weekly in that sense, not twice a week. The story content's always doable with basically everything. And if you get really, really, really fancy, you can do a lot of stuff with you know, lower budget characters too on endgame modes, but it's a long story. So in these harder and harder endgame dungeon gauntlets, because MiHoYo, like a lot of people, sculpts the content around selling you the new characters, which is a practice that is, you know, can be mildly deceptive, but I think is mostly just sort of a forced revolving door meta situation. It's sort of fine. As long as it's not built to capitalize on exclusively one character, then it is what it is, right? Like, if you're like, a new character's coming out who's fire element, all of the content right now is fire weak, it doesn't just push that character, it pushes all fire characters, right? That's fine, IMO. So when the break effect, you know, sort of heyday ended, people are like, oh shit, they got power crept out of the game. My feeling so far is not that that's the case, but rather that we no longer have content that is tailored specifically to the break effect team build. Same thing goes for the follow-up team. And I mentioned 3.0, we entered a meta that was exclusively big AoE content. All the new characters are big AoE. The characters from prior patches who were big AoE characters did pretty fine. They weren't like power crept to hell. The new characters were just so pushed because the content was tailored to them. We're going to see right now, going into 3.4, we're going into a lower enemy count meta, I believe, to coincide with a major character release, Kevin from Honkai, coming out, and he's more low enemy count focused than he is AoE focused. I expect we're going to see a lot of that. And people are going to be like, oh my god, my early 3.0 characters aren't doing as well. He must be stronger. No, he's not. The content's just tailored to him for now. Now, if we come back around to break-friendly content and the old break characters are worse than the new ones by a lot, that's a problem, to some degree. But yeah, I think it's a forced revolving door meta more than anything else right now. But we'll see. They've also gone through and started giving buffs to older characters, which something that Genshin, I think, hasn't done in its whole lifespan so far, so I'm hopeful for that to be a good program, basically. The first wave is pretty conservative, which I think is smart. But I do like character buffs and upgrades. Power creep's inevitable in a game like this. You have to have power creep because if, for example, for a damage dealer, if you're looking at building out your roster and you have a fire element damage dealer, and they're just to give a number, like let's assume we have a Destiny style like power estimator. Their power is 50. If they release nothing but 50 power fire element damage dealers, you never have a reason to ever obtain another character. Which is fine, but that's not like the point of the game. Like they not only want you to spend money on it, which is something, but even from like a game design perspective, on a very basic level, you want to have more characters to mess around with, and so you need to have that encouragement to try to juice your teams, even if it's just getting more copies of your existing character you like. That's the thing. Like Firefly, the banner character of the flagship break effect character, she is still destroying content. If you have her E2 or her second idol on, destroying, like it's a big leap for her in terms of her mechanics and performance. If you want to use Firefly still, give her some more juice. If you don't want to put her into favorable content, exactly. Design also goes a very long way, and I'm talking purely about sort of people who get caught up in some of the like mechanical things. The community does talk a lot about mechanics. Design does push a lot of things, of course, but for me, I think it tends to be a little bit of both. Like I want to have some mechanical interest in a character. I want to have the design is and the character writing is a very big thing. Like for me, for example, I love it when if I care a lot about, I don't know, like Firefly, then I want to build out her team as strong as possible to make sure that she's juiced and blowing things up forever. Their marketing is very strong. And this is sort of, the killer app of stuff like Fate Grand Order as well, is that the writing in Fate Grand Order, for example, is so good that, when they're ending an event and go, hey, the new character's coming out, you won't see them for a while unless you roll for them, wink, wink. Didn't you cry about them? And it's like, yeah, but I don't know now. What do I do? So anyway, this was a nothing burger event rating-wise. It is what it is. It was a weirdly solid event mechanically. Like it was very fun. Like after the first car we got through that, it was very fun. Good news, we're getting a skip button next patch with a summary feature for things like this. I do think the main story is overall quite solid, but like this is nothing. I do think if there's one thing that the Hoyo games aren't doing so well, it's events. They just don't feel worthwhile to me for the most part in terms of like their writing. Occasionally they do, but like I don't know. I think it might. I think it could very well be, or just like watching like story compilation of some kinds. I do think that particularly the story on this planet Penacony is very strong. It's not all perfect by any means, but like I think it's a very solid story arc. I really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of fun sort of thriller stuff, really strong emotional beats, incredibly strong set pieces for just sort of big spectacle stuff. I mean, it's gorgeous, right? Like, this is an insane. We're in a anime Coca-Cola themed amusement park right now. I do think Penacony is fantastic. I mean, it's one of the more breathtaking spots in the game so far, I think. I love Penacony. And this is just an insane setting, I think. Like, this is gorgeous. You can play this on your phone. That's weird to me still. I love Penacony. I really like the story arc, which was the 2.0 patch cycle. I had a blast. Really, really fun. The current patch cycle, I'm really behind on the story. By all rights, as I understand what people are thinking about it so far, is people were really cold on it at first, and then have been warming up a bunch over time. Almost as though, dare I say, they were doing a bunch of setup and slow burn for the first couple of patches, and then they are accelerating it into big moments now. Crazy how that happens. About judging the plot before it's fucking over. This is the new area we're in Amphorius. It's also gorgeous. I mean, the game is very pretty. Star Rail, you know, if you've played Honkai Impact, the open world sections of Honkai Impact that they started messing around with, you know, some number of years ago, are really like sort of the basis of what Star Rail ended up being. And I think it does. When the settings are juiced, the game looks quite good. And yeah, it's a good time. So, well, we got that done. Like I said, you know, it ended up being probably 400 plus minus Jade, and we take those. We're not rolling now, but we'll be rolling in the not distant future. I have to decide what I'm doing soon, but I'm waiting for the beta cycle before things happen. So cool. Well, that was fun. Let's roll. Let's do some of this real quick. This is what the gameplay actually is, for what it's worth. The daily farming stuff is pretty standard. It's very straightforward. I really like that events aren't... so the system works a lot like other speed tier-based RPGs. So you have... Every character has a speed stat. The speed stat affects their order in this turn order meter. And every character has a active skill, which is this, a basic attack, and an ultimate. The team shares a pool of skill points. Yeah, it's very Persona influenced, like down to the elemental-based stamina breaks, basically. So it's translated, but it is definitely Persona influenced. In particular, I would say P5 is the closest touch point, but it's different. It, you know, does have the speed meter thing, which is the thing that a lot of games have. I'm not sure where this started, but I've seen this around in RPGs though before. There's a shared resource, so using a basic attack earns you a skill point, using a skill deducts a skill point. So the game is very deceptively simple, I think. It looks very like, yeah, so there's 2.5 buttons to press. How hard could it be? Juggling your skill point management, timing out your turn order, some characters advance the actions of other characters. There's a lot of nuance to team building and gameplay at higher levels. I really like that. I think it is a very classic example of the easy to learn, hard to master type of RPG. So that I think definitely goes a long way. Now, this team does have a lot of moving parts, so it's hard to explain how it works in full. But suffice to say, we'll be making a very big dragon shortly. By shortly, I mean now. I want to do that. My bad. The stock sound effects? Wait, which ones? I'm not saying like like in an accusatory way. I'm just saying genuinely I don't know which one's a sound stock to. Anyway. So, that's Star Rail for you. Oh, I see, yeah. So anyway, that's my, does it? Oh, maybe? I don't think that's like literally the same sound. If it's on the summon like you're saying there, but... What the fuck is going on? Yeah. This is our healer, by the way. So yeah, so it's like certainly like Hyacinth is very strong. I do have her signature weapon, which helps a lot. And I don't think she's like stronger than other like than Ling Sha or in particular Ling Sha, who's their closest competition at this point. But it's just a matter that there just haven't been that many high profile healers. All right. Anyway, that's the rotation done tonight, I believe. So there we go. We got the event done. We have story to do, but I'm not doing story tonight. We'll figure this out. I don't even know when I'm rolling for Saber because I might wait till after 3.5. So, okay, cool. We got the stuff done. Oh, is this ending tonight? Lay Battle Pass. I don't know if I'm gonna buy a Battle Pass. Speaking of regular purchases that you do one time that I think about sometimes, we'll think about that. Will I purchase La Battle Pass? Probably not. Maybe. But maybe. Okay, speaking of ZZZ, let us pivot now to ZZZ. I believe I'm behind on an event there as well, which is also a pretty short one. A little bit of ZZZ. I do think that ZZZ is just funny. I don't think anybody's ever called it that. But okay. Yeah, that's big. That's really nice. Yeah, it sounds like from everything I've heard, Master Duel sounds like it's doing it right. I do appreciate that the digital card games are, in general, doing pretty all right. Like, MTG Arena does a pretty fine job at this point, in my experience. But, it's another game you have to, like, really be keeping up with. That's like I said, you're either paying with your time or your money, or both. Be right back. I'm going to turn my AC down a degree. I'll re-up on my tea as well. Oh, you've seen the Bernice trailer? Very nice. Very nice. I do not have Bernice, but she's the only character of her class that I don't have. I would love to have her, just the timing's been awful for me. ZZ has a reputation as being an especially horny game. It's a little horny. I don't think it's very horny. Like, that's grading on a scale, obviously. Because, good lord, there are some games out there that are like, I can't even... It's, like, hard to believe these are just on, like, regular app stores. But, like, ZZ's fine. It is what it is. It's very close. This game is very, like, you know, cartoonish and very, it's very cartoony and very, just sort of larger than life. So I think going, you know, ham on character designs, like, this is a lot. We got a lot going on here. The biggest factor, I think, is just the physics in ZZ is just the biggest, like, eye roll for me. I don't mind a game being a little horny. I'm not, like, gonna, like, I'm not really playing a game for that, but I'm not gonna be like, I can't play this. It's a question of, you know, no time and place. That might not be an aesthetic that appeals to everyone by any means, but hey, I will say, at the very least, Hoyo's finally giving the dudes some cake. If it took them, like, this fucking long, but they finally did it. They finally did it. So I do think in terms of the core gameplay, the dailies in ZCZ take 3 seconds. It is a dog. Yeah, that guy, he's the best. I love ZZZ because it's very small in scope so far. Like, the whole game mostly takes place either in small little city areas like this, or like in combat. I fucking love that. So many games these days are following the Genshin formula and wanting to have like these gargantuan areas and like, exactly, yeah. It's very much more like that. It was originally presented very differently as well, but it settled in pretty well. But this is like the biggest area in the game, and it's like a Yakuza or Persona area. Like it's completely normal sized. So I don't even know what the event we have to do is. So yeah, so just walking to those 3 stores, our dailies are done. We just haven't spent our stamina. I like that a lot. I like ZZZ a lot. I think it is one of the best paced games in terms of the sort of weekly to-do list. That's it. If you're like, I'm tired, you log into ZZ, you spend 20 seconds talking to people at 3 stores, and then you're done. If you don't feel like spending your stamina, you're done. You're just done. That's all if you want to get your currency out of the game for your rolling currency, you're done. Love that. So it's very stylish. For that, yep. You just walk around, you talk to those 3 stores, you get your stuff, and then you spend your energy. And that's all you want to do in a given day. Great. The end game cycles rotate much faster than Star Rails do. It's once a week instead of once every other week. They're pretty fast, and it's also like it's a gauntlet of playing Devil May Cry. But like that's why I'm playing this game. So yeah, I'll do that. So I do think ZZ in general just has handled itself very well. I think it's a very compelling just cycle for a game, but their mileage may vary. All right, why wait? Oh. Oh, I should have let go. Oh well. Yeah, I think unlike Star Rail, which is like easy to learn, hard to master, ZZ, like you can mash your way through. Like getting good at ZZZ is hard. It's not like a super technical character action game. It's not like, you know, high-end Devil May Cry or like, oh my god, or like, you know, Punishing Gray Raven or something like that. It's not super technical, but it's technical enough, I think. It's no Ultra Kill. That's damn true. But it is, I think, technical enough, for sure. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Alright. I think we have a small event to do here. But yeah, the biggest thing that I have to say about these games is that because their schedule is so regular, I like them a lot. It's very predictable. Whereas, like, you know, here in this case, this is just a simulator to get materials from. In general, it varies a lot, basically. This is just, we're just literally in a simulator to get, the company here needs combat data for simulating things. They give out people who come up and do the simulations free handouts for doing the simulations. So that's the lore behind, you know, your dailies, basically. This is a new small event. Where is it? This one? This one. Oh, what the hell? Well, whatever. That's what it is. It could be. These are like the closest thing we have to like pretty straightforwardly good people. There is a lot of gray in both Star Rail and in ZZZ, but we're basically working with like basically. Hey, there it is. There's a hollow. Those are the big problems. We're mildly post-apocalyptic in ZZZ. Okay. We're gonna skip this because I haven't actually done... Also, I heard the translation was god-awful for the events. But I also haven't... I'm like 2 patches behind, so we haven't actually met Jufufu yet. It is what it is. Okay. I just want to do the event. It's a mission event, so it's gonna be quickly. This area is sick, by the way. Wi-Fi Peninsula. Oh my god. Get out of the... Less flowy bits, thank you. She's less tall, too. Yeah, this is really pretty. I like the vibes a lot here. It's got kind of like a... There's a lot of, like, 80s, 90s building aesthetic here, which is cool. Yeah, not quite... Like... We're in, like, some of the last human settlements, but, like, those human settlements are very advanced, is, I think, the complication here. We're just, like, straightforwardly calling it Like, it is post-apocalyptic, but it doesn't feel that way, is the thing I'm trying to say. I like the architecture a lot, though. Dang. This is really pretty. Really nice color usage too. I do think that one of ZZ's strengths is they really push the color palettes. Like this is such a very like an orange area. I haven't even played the game that much. Or this is fucking whatever. Yeah, but I thought it was one of these. Okay, these are very straightforward events, so it'll take like 2 seconds. All right, when Yishuan, yeah, we know how to play Yishuan. Launching an ultimate, blah blah blah. Okay. So we need to use Yishuan. Oh, I guess we get to use Jufufu. I don't really know how that works, but sure, let's mess around. No, I would like my own, please. I do not know if she works. I think she's mostly set and forget. I think we can mostly just like use her skill once, then she like bonks people while we're fighting. Oh, the stage with the rain is so good. I love this. It is, that guy is, he's not Poe. Damn. What's up, Curry? Oh no, I just have her. We're just playing it for tonight. She will be important in the story, but I'm literally 2 patches behind right now. His hat is a walk. The thing about ZTD that I love is that unlike Genshin, like Star Rail follows very closely in Genshin's footsteps, and in doing so is, I think, very conservative on its character designs, both like from a like literal like character aesthetics and also to the way that like the characters are rigged. They're like they have like 4 character models. They're all the same. This game's got a lot more variety in like character heights, character builds. There's a guy who looks like fucking this. Like, hello? And he still gets to flex. This is great. There's also Ben, who's also a bear. Literally, not like a, you know, a guy who's hairy. He's a literal bear. Shout out Ben. Why is there Fox Lazy? There are like demi-humans here. Yeah, he's huge. Ben's huge. The thing I appreciate about this game, you know, like, we've got the little cards here. Oh, I don't have Ben's whole thing. Unfortunate. But he gets all the glamour shots too. But yes, Fox Lady is my and a lot of people's favorite character. I love Miyabi. She's awesome. She's one of Hoyo's special girls. She has her own special lore. She's very strong. She has a cool sword. She's one of Virgil's children, basically. Very cool. Yeah, no, this game does have a lot. Like I said, the biggest thing is, I don't know if you can actually see, but they've, no, I doubt we'll see here. But they have learned how to give the male characters some cake. Yes, I don't know if you can see it in these menus here, but you got a little bit of a butt. That's impossible in Genshin. Literally impossible. They can't do it. So yeah, the character design is like ZZ is I think just like a super stylish, well put together game. Lots of variety. Like this guy's cool. Lycon's cool. He's got robot legs. He's a butler. He's a wolf. Inagi works at an office and has a halberd. She's like Miyabi's this like main manager assistant. We got Jane, who's a undercover cop. We got Asher, who's a singer. We got her bodyguard. We have Vivian, who is a phantom thief? Question mark. I haven't gotten that far, but I love Vivian. She's great. There's Yushuan, also Hoyo's special girl, has her own special lore. I don't know his lore yet. I haven't seen him in the story yet. We got a lot of characters, but yeah, there's a lot of variety though. Anton's huge. It's hard to emphasize how big Anton is. Hold on, look at this. Observe. Belle is this tall. Anton is fucking huge. What? What is this? Hello? Like, it's like funny, like even like it's not just like, oh, all male characters are that tall. No, Anton is fucking huge. Like Harumasa is also not that big. So yeah, 5'11", 6 foot exactly. But like I really do appreciate the range of character designs in this game. So that's also not like huge. You have like animal people. You have animal people. It's a good time. You have Hoshimi Miyabi, who is she's 160 centimeters if you include her ears, which is a frequent point of contention. She is very small, asterisk, unless you count her ears, which are very long. She's all ears, etc., etc. But yeah, it's a good time. Oh, you haven't gotten the outfit yet. So anyway, I do like ZZ a lot. I think it's a very like just strong game all around. Soldier 11 is an insane name, and the whole bit with her is she and everybody who she's like she has some memory issues, but she also like continuously calls the main character by different like fake code names every time when she sees them. Very funny. Vivian, when a bloom is triggered. Wow, you mean specifically Vivian's mechanic? Do you mean specifically Vivian's only... Is there anybody else who has a bloom yet? That's funny. This is funny because we might be too strong for this. It might be an invincible I thought you were stronger situation. If we have to trigger a bloom twice, we'll find out, basically. Oh no! I've never played Etrian Odyssey. How is Etrian Odyssey? Did I see? I knew it. See? See? I told you have to do less damage. Miyabi was killing people so fast, Vivian didn't have time to actually trigger her effect. Hell yeah. Does that count this time as well? Basic attack, I guess. There we go. But even through the resist, too, that's funny. This is pretty low level content though, because it's like, you know, all events are built for like every player. So I am not like properly good for the record. I'm just at like very built endgame stats for the most part. I'm not like that. It's very funny how in games like this, whether they're gacha based or not, somebody who plays like at like there's like a very small slice of the player base who actually plays at endgame, as it were. But like the stratification among that endgame slice is insanity. Like, you know, Path of Exile. Like I'm certainly like somebody who's in the top 5 to 10% of players of Path of Exile just by virtue of having played this much and gone this far in different endgames of different seasons. But my ass is leagues behind people who are further along than I am, as far as, you know, skill and stuff like that. Fuck. I think we did too much damage again. Oh, we do have a good. We're good. The low difficulty ones are very funny because it's just like, yeah, show up, brother. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll show up. Totalize? Oh fuck, I don't know how to play Hugo? Oh shit. I don't know how to play fucking Hugo. Oh, the boys. I do want to learn how to play Hugo. He's so cool, but I just have Miyabi. I don't need another ice character. Not yet, at least. He is super cool, though. So how does this... Okay, there's Totalize triggered. I'm just gonna mash button for a little bit. What the... Whoa! This is a mimic? What the hell? Whose man is this? What the hell? That's damn true. How does later fucking work again? I forgot. Whatever, man. I do not understand how any of these characters work. Unlike Star Wars, you can just kind of push buttons and it's fine because it's an RPG. Here, I'm like, dude, I literally don't even know what buttons to press. He's cool. That was fun. I don't know what Totalize means though. I didn't read enough. Should have read Aftershock Alliance. Okay, that we can do. What did we get though? What did they give you for free? Man, you know what? We'll use the issue on team. Pulchra does have aftershocks, so that will do. That will do. We should get more of the long intros. Truly Hoyo's special girl. Geez, Shuan, how come your mom lets you have 2 ultimates? Yes, there is like magic rock around, I believe. I believe magic rocks are afoot. I'm not confident I remember that though. But I believe it's all based around magic rocks. For the most part. Miyabi's sword is like haunted. Not entirely sure why that is. Yeah. The magic rocks are found inside the magic bubbles. Yeah, Genshin has like actual like deities too, right though? Oh good, got the holy shit. The critical eye thing is pretty hard to time on that. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, big like Final Fantasy style rocks. Big ass rocks. Is that even hitting one? This guy's dead, right? Surely. Hmm. He was 2 dead. Not gonna wait for a stun. I'm just gonna get his ass. Whose main is this? I've never seen this guy. Man. What the fuck are these? What is this moveset? Oh, Yishuan is so much fun to play. It's crazy. I am really happy that like my main DPSs that I've settled in on right now, I just love playing. Miyabi, Yanagi, Yishuan, Eve, they're so much fun. There's a special offensive. What the fuck is this? So do some chain attacks then, sure. Can do that. Chain attack or ultimate, is that what it was? That was it. I was like, oh shit, should I not pop the first ult until later? Nope. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. Oh, you can. Oh, that's fun. You can redo it to like track your hits of popcorn and talismans. That's fun. Is it myriad talismans? Why would you do myriad talismans? It's weird. Whatever. Oh, it's the 2 banner characters. That's why. Okay. I was like, sure. Yeah, I think I'm correct in not rolling for Jufufu as far as mechanics go. I don't really care about her design. She's like fine. Like she's very cute. I like the like the tiger theming and the popcorn pot. Those are she's a very fun character, but I'm chilling.
早手のごとく
Let's go, come on. We got most of that during the stun period, that's pretty good. Oh shit, this guy has miasma now? What the fuck? Is that miasma Thracian? That's so good. Oh yeah. Very fun. Kinetic slash ultimate. Oh, so maybe doing a little bit more of the Gacha variety hour this week, guys. So apologies if you don't like this, but not these particular things. But like, I gotta catch up on more Star Rail stories. So it is like, you know, it is actual story content. What is this? What the fuck is going on? Just wait for him behind on story, I guess. Jesus. Before the break even happens. Let's fucking go. Yeah, Yishuan is so cool. Her mechanics, like, there's so much stuff you can do with her. What? Oh. Okay, hold on. Oh shit, I gotta get going, guys. Let's see what time it was. I gotta roll out. I gotta go a little early tonight. This is it for the last run, then.
心を共に熱す散れ避けろ俗物ねよし
Are we good on timing? Come on. There we go. Nice. And that, folks, is sub 90. Very fun. Yeah, Jufufu is interesting. I don't know if she is just like a fully set and forget character. I don't know if there's more to her than that, but so far it seems like you just hit the button once and then you just pivot away from her, which is fine. I don't mind. That character can be very, very convenient to have around. 150, damn. All right, fair enough. Oh, there are a fair bit of currency those, and these are fun too. All right, folks, I got to get running. Thank you so much for being tonight. I'm Essel. I'll be back tomorrow night with something. Stay tuned for what's up. If you have any thoughts, what you want to see next, of course, let me know. We do have Anton Blast and Pizza Tower on the docket. We have Ultra Kill for things that are sort of recurring games right now. I do want to get some other stuff in the mix at some point soon. And anybody want to see Liza P? I've been thinking about Liza P recently with the new DLC coming out. Maybe some Liza P. I've heard it's not that long. It'll be fun. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking. Hopefully I will see you all soon. Tomorrow night we should be a go for a stream, and I will catch you all then. Until next time, enjoy yourselves tonight. Get some rest. Peace.